And we are live. Hey, this is Kent Courtney. I'm a music historian, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about music history during the middle 1800s, during the time of the American Civil War. Now, I happen to be wearing a uniform. It's a Civil War uniform, and this uniform is typical of what the river squadrons would be wearing on, like, the Ohio River, Mississippi River, the Tennessee River when the United States Navy was invading the states of the Confederacy. And this meant they were bringing down ironclads and tinclads and all kinds of steamboats that were, part of the invasion forces that went down to take control of the Mississippi River in the Anaconda Plan when they were trying to divide the Confederacy by seizing the Mississippi River in particular. Uh, Aiding also the forces that were land forces of General Grant and General Sherman. And so we're going to be talking about that, but I'm so very happy to be on the facebook.com/. Frederick County with a live feed. So this is a pretty exciting thing that we're doing. We're also using a MEVO camera, which is a pretty cool way to do it. And we're even going to go ahead and Facebook and go do a live stream on here. So I'm going to pick up this live stream, and this is really live TV, folks, that we're doing this.
Share it to your Facebook friends, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so here this is coming on, and with a little bit of luck, I'm going to hit the like there, and I'm going to hit the share. There's the share, and share now. And let's see. Oh, this is already shared on my timeline. Can you believe that? That's amazing. That fast, and we're live TV around the world in 3 different platforms, including the facebook.com/Frederick County. Now, one thing I really love about being in Frederick County is the incredible sense of history you have here. Civil War history, for one. Just down the street was the Battle of Sharpsburg, also known as Antietam. And General McClellan met with Abraham Lincoln right in Frederick itself. So it's a very historic part of the Civil War. And you also had the Sabres and Roses Ball down in Urbana at the Landon House. So very pivotal things were happening in this very region because it's a transportation intersection, has been for a long time, since the days of the Native Americans. This was just a natural place to either go up toward the mountains or go up north, up toward what was to become the colony of Pennsylvania and later the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, or go up and down from here to Virginia, which is why Jeb Stuart was here with the Sabres and Roses Ball at the Landon House in Urbana. I'm going to be doing some songs of the American Civil War, and we're going to be talking about some of the things that it actually made the Civil War happen. One of the interesting things was the fact that you had so many things going up and down the river, and the boilers weren't very good during the mid 1800s. In fact, it was after the time of the American Civil War that the science of metallurgy was invented. They didn't have any way of looking inside uh, uh, a boiler's shell, inside the actual metal itself, to detect whether you had fissures or holes or weak spots in the metal. So they would pressure test it. They'd run water into it and run it up to maybe 100 pounds of pressure and see if it would, rupture anywhere. If it didn't, they put it into service. But of course, once it got into service, you've got this boat is going to be going up and down, the water. The entire boiler is going to be flexing, so you develop a lot of weak spots. And they were lucky to make 5 trips up and down the Mississippi River before they had some kind of boiler issue, which could mean an explosion, a fissure, crack. People could get killed very easily or even sink the boat. I got a wife and 5 little children. Believe I'll take a trip on the Big Macmillan. Oh, Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing and rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Oh, won't you rock about my Sarah Jane? Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing and rock about my Sarah Jane. Boiler busted and a whistle done blowed, the head captain done gone overboard. Oh, Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing and rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Oh, won't you rock about my Sarah Jane? Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing and rock about my Sarah Jane. Engine give a crack and a whistle give a squall, the engineer gone through the hole in the wall. Oh, Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Oh, won't you rock about my Sarah Jane? Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing and rock about my Sarah Jane. Yankees built boats for to shoot them rebels. My musket's loaded and I'm gonna hold her level. Oh, Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing and rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Won't you rock about my Sarah Jane? Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing and rock about my Sarah Jane. Well, it was certainly logical that the United States Navy would want to control the river systems of these United States, particularly the Ohio and the Mississippi rivers. There was down that way that so much commerce flowed. Think about it. In the days before railroads, Monongahela and the Allegheny joined the Ohio River and joined the Mississippi River, and that joined up with the Missouri River, and it all went down to New Orleans, bringing an incredible amount of commerce down to the city of New Orleans, making it one of the fastest growing cities during the antebellum period. In fact, one of the fastest growing cities in the history of the world. So when you think about the incredible commerce that went down there, you could imagine there was a lot of cultural expression associated with New Orleans. So let me tell you a little bit about how the boatmen would dance on the boats and get their reputation like Big Mike Fink.
Okay, two quick things. Ask them if they have any questions. They can ask.
Oh, sure.
And also, can you move this way a little bit so we get the neck of your?
Oh, there we go.
That's better.
Oh, okay.
That's perfect.
This is live TV, and CraigShipp here is doing the directing. And he reminded me it'd be if you have any questions to ask, you can put them in as a comment, and we can answer them right here on the feed. So go ahead and put a question in the comment section, and then Craig will read it out, and then I'll be able to tell you about it.
The audio's good too. Let us know.
Oh, yeah. Please let us know if the audio is good and if you see everything, if everything's working well. Give us a yes if it is. But, tell us if it's not working too, if there's an issue somewhere. We'd like to know that. So we're ready to dance with the boatmen, right? Boatmen dance, boatmen sing, boatmen do most anything. Dance, a boatman dance, dance, a boatman dance. Dance all night to the broad daylight, come home with the gal in the morning. Hey, ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hey, ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. When the boatman gets ashore, he spends his money and he makes some more. Dance, a boatman dance, dance, a boatman dance. Dance all night to the broad daylight, come home with the gal in the morning. Hey, ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hey, ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. When the boatman blows his horn, look out, old man, your daughter's gone. Dance, a boatman, dance, dance, a boatman, dance. Dance all night to the broad daylight, come home with a gal in the morning. Hey, ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hey, ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Sky blue jacket and a tarpaulin hat, look out, fellas, for the nine-tailed cat. Dance, boatman, dance. Dance, boatman, dance. Dance all night, the broad daylight, come home with a gal in the morning. Hey, ho, a boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hey, ho, a boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Never saw a pretty gal in my life that she wasn't a boatman's wife. Dance, a boatman, dance. Dance, a boatman, dance. Dance all night to the broad daylight, come home with the gal in the morning. Hey, ho, boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hey, ho, a boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio.
So Vincent said hello. He said you're a great all-around entertainer.
Well, thank you very much, Vincent. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I guess everything's working fine then. You know, modern technology is so interesting. The MEVO is a camera that has like a fisheye lens, and Craig is there with his iPhone, and he's actually selecting shots that take up a portion of each little bit of that fisheye lens. So when you get a close-up, it's still coming out of the same camera. It's just selecting a part of the image to be included on the live feed. To me, that's incredible and amazing. The audio is going through from an SM58 by Shure right into an MVi mixer. Oh, the Shure MVi mixer. That's fabulous mixer. And, you know, when you consider how incredibly small it is, that's pretty inexpensive, isn't it, Craig?
Kent, bump your guitar volume up a bit. Your vocals are perfect, but the guitar is a tad low. So should we lower the mic?
Ooh, just like that?
Try that? Will that
Try
work?
that? Yeah, get a little bit more guitar in there.
Okay, there you go. All right, great feedback.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take it away.
Okay, well, the next thing we're going to be talking about is the Confederate steamship Alabama. Now, the Alabama was actually built under the auspices of some British merchants and then was transferred out at sea to the ownership of the Confederate government. And Raphael Semmes came on board the ship and took command. As captain of the CSS Alabama, there were 57 United States flagged ships that were sunk by the Alabama. That's an incredible victory record when you think about it. And they were pretty much exhausted of ammunition. In fact, their ammunition was getting wet in the days when, you know, the black powder inside the cannon shells would explode, causing, you know, damage to a ship. You didn't want to get your powder wet because it wouldn't explode, and you know, could have a cannonball hit a ship and just, you know, harmlessly bounce off or get embedded in the keel. As one of the cannonballs eventually was embedded in the USS Kearsarge. Now, under the command of Captain Winslow, the Kearsarge was given orders to go find the Alabama. The Alabama had pulled into Cherbourg port in France, and with the idea of getting a refit or getting at least some kind of rest and respite from their intense voyages. And Winslow challenged them to fight at sea, calling them to come out. And apparently Raphael Semmes couldn't resist that challenge. He came out, and unfortunately, you know, like I just said before, some of his cannonballs either bounced off harmlessly or embedded in the stern section and right by the rudder of the USS Kearsarge. And last time I saw it, it was at Annapolis at the Naval Academy, where you could actually view that. So you can imagine, you know, what an incredible string of success this man had as he went in and sank 57 U.S. flag ships.
Kent, about 6 inches this way. Do you need to move the mic?
Yeah, we should move the mic if we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Get a little more than that from your guitar in the shot.
Okay.
Perfect.
When the Alabama's keel was laid, roll Alabama, roll, 'twas laid in the yard of Jonathan Laird. Oh, roll Alabama, roll, 'twas laid in the yard of Jonathan Laird. Roll Alabama, roll, 'twas laid in the town of Birkenhead. Oh, roll, Alabama, roll. Down the Mersey way she rolled then, roll, Alabama, roll, to destroy the commerce of the North. Oh, roll, Alabama, roll. To Cherbourg port she sailed one day, roll, Alabama, roll, to take her count of prize money. Oh, roll, Alabama, roll. In Cherbourg harbor without a care, roll, Alabama, roll, till the Kearsarge showed her sails there. Oh, roll, Alabama, roll. Many a sailor lad he saw his doom, roll, Alabama, roll, when the Kearsarge it hove in view. Oh, roll, Alabama, roll. The Kearsarge with Winslow they did see, roll, Alabama, roll, and Winslow challenged them to fight at sea. Oh, roll, Alabama, roll. Outside the 3-mile limit, they fought hard. Roll, Alabama, roll. Outside the 3-mile limit, they fought hard. Oh, roll, Alabama, roll. Till a ball from the forward pivot that day. Roll, Alabama, roll. Shot the Alabama's gear away. Oh, roll, Alabama, roll. Alabama was all they got. Roll, Alabama, roll. Captain Semmes escaped in a British yacht. Ho, roll, Alabama, roll. And the name of that yacht was the Greyhound. It was a British yacht that scooped up Captain Semmes, who was returned safely to the Confederate States of America, where he became an admiral and in charge of the Confederate Navy for the duration of the war. And so Raphael Semmes, after that, after the war was over, decided to retire in Mobile, Alabama. And down in Mobile, he set up a law practice. And he has a magnificent home that was preserved. And it's quite a nice thing to see right near downtown Mobile. So if you're ever down in that area, be sure and look up Raphael Semmes' home. Now, it's interesting he retired in Mobile because Merlin also claims her as a native son. Now, I'm going to do a song that's a little bit more lighthearted than the war song. In fact, this one is about the Gulf Coast trade that went on between the port of New Orleans and down into the Caribbean, where in places like Jamaica, they were growing, tobacco and rum and sugar cane, and they could bring those things back to New Orleans where it would be exchanged for manufactured goods, and then a boat like a small schooner could actually make the trip. In fact, it could be a barkentine, not much different than a schooner in size. And in fact, I'm going to be playing on the Barkentine Gazela. It's going to be this Friday, which is August 19th. Of 2016, just in case you're seeing an archived version of this. But yeah, if you can, make it down there. The Chester Historical Society is having a fundraiser, and so you can actually get on board the vessel. I'm going to be singing there. They're going to have lots of fun activities. They're going to have a display of Civil War Navy equipment. So be sure and come down there if you can. It's easy to find on Facebook as well under the Chester Historical Society, and their event on the Barkentine Gazela in Philadelphia.
I want to let you know, Kent, Mid-Atlantic TV just shared our live stream.
Oh, terrific. We're on Mid-Atlantic TV also.
There you go.
Yeah, we're all over the world.
The audio's great now.
We did better. Okay, great. And so getting...
Oh, do you want to do the other instrument?
I will. I'll swap to that right after this.
Okay, because we're getting short.
Okay, we'll do a quick song here. And this is the one about Sally Brown. Sally Brown was a Creole lady. Way, hey, roll and go. Oh, Sally Brown was a Creole lady. Spent my money on Sally Brown. She had a farm on the Isle of Jamaica. Way, hey, roll and go, and there she raised sugar cane and tobacco. Spent my money on Sally Brown. Sally Brown was a Creole lady. Way, hey, roll and go, oh, Sally Brown was a Creole lady. Spent my money on Sally Brown. For 7 long years I courted Sally. Way, hey, roll and go, and when I asked her if she'd marry, spent my money on Sally Brown. She wouldn't have a tarry sailor. Way, hey, roll and go, and now my troubles are almost over. Spent my money on Sally Brown. Sally Brown was a Creole lady. Way, hey, roll and go, oh, Sally Brown was a Creole lady. Spent my money on Sally Brown. For many long years I've been buying jewelry. Way, hey, roll and go. It looks like she has made a fool of me. Spent my money on Sally Brown. Sally Brown was a Creole lady. Way, hey, roll and go. Sally Brown was a Creole lady. Spent my money on Sally Brown.
Good job. And so now you're going to switch instruments?
I am going to switch instruments, and I went from a Martin guitar made in Pennsylvania.
While you're doing that, I'll let them know what this is all about. So Facebook.com/Frederick County. Facebook.com/Frederick County. We're looking for more content. So if you're a business owner in Frederick County, a nonprofit, a government group, and you've got things you want to share about Frederick County, it's all positive, good stuff. We don't do anything negative. There isn't anything negative in Frederick County anyway. So if you want to share it, just go to Facebook.com/Frederick County. Facebook.com/Frederick County. Get involved. If you need to send an email to me, news@Frederick.com. News@Frederick.com. If you have any questions, send an email to me. Are you ready?
I am ready.
There we go. That was a quick changeover.
There you go. Well, this is a button box accordion by Hohner. It's a Merlin, and it's one of my favorite button boxes. It just is a very, very easy instrument to play. I prefer the button box to the piano key style of accordion. And you see with these buttons here, you play the melody on one side and the accompaniment on the other side, and it gives you a chance to really have a full sound. Now, an interesting thing about sailors is that they really did like to dance. And in fact, even if they didn't like to dance, the captain would make sure that they did their dancing. The reason why is the exercise. When you think of a relatively small ship, you've got maybe 200-300 feet long at the most. You're not going to be doing a whole lot of walking. Most of your exercise is going to be, with the upper chest. Think of like Pluto or Brutus on Popeye. The way they were really big and thick up in the chest area, because they'd be pulling on ropes and lines, to get work accomplished, but wouldn't be doing a whole lot of walking. So in order to get around that, they would make the sailors dance, and a button box accordion is certainly something that could be heard over the creaking and groaning of the ship and its sails. That's loud, isn't it? It's amazing. No amplifier, no batteries, no nothing.
I wanted them to be able to see more of that. That's why I moved
Oh,
the mic,
okay.
so they could just see more of it.
You could probably put the microphone in the closet and they would still hear it.
Are you going to play another one with that?
Well, I sure
What
could.
we'll do is we'll put the mic back here. Whoops. And like you said, I'm sure that'll be plenty, and then this way they get a nice clear shot of it. And I'm actually going to lower this a little bit.
Okay.
This is live TV after all. We can do that.
That's right.
Yeah, that's got a clean shot of it. Okay. Let her rip. Fantastic. Why don't we get this up to you again here? And why don't you go through one more time that event that's coming up and do your wrap
Sure,
up?
sure. And that's the event that we're having this Friday. It's going to be August 19th of 2016, starting at 6 p.m. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is on the Barkentine Gazela. And the nice thing about this event, it's a benefit that supports the Chester Historical Society. So this is a good chance to get out and, support something good that is going on. And you want to be able to take a look at how to get there and everything. They actually have an event page on Facebook.com, and that is associated with the Chester Historical Society. So if you do a search on Chester Historical Society,
Maybe you
you'll
can
be
put
able to
something on
find
your
it.
Facebook too.
Sure, in the comments section, I'll go ahead and add in,
Yeah.
some of the direct links so you can take a look at that. Going to be a fun time, and if nothing else, you ought to look up the Barkentine Gazela. It's Gazela, and it's a wonderfully preserved ship that you really should, come see sometime. But at least take a look at the pictures on Facebook and how much you could enjoy being on board that and listening to sailors' songs and looking over some of the Civil War reproduction items of what typically sailors would be wearing and using while they're on board the ship. And I'll be singing there, playing accordion there, having a great time.
All right. So remind them one more time where we are.
We're at facebook.com/Frederick County. And so that's the home, but we're on Craig Ship's feed. We're also on Mid Atlantic TV, and we're on the Kent Courtney feed. And I am Kent Courtney singing for you today. And you can find out more about me at kentcourtney.com. That's easy to remember,
Spell it for them, just so
kentcourtney.com.
anybody that doesn't know you, just spell it for them.
KENTCOURTNEY.com.
All right. We're going to wrap it.
Hey, thank you.